Hey everybody, my name is Don Nelson, aka Abdullah Saway. This is my partner Jay Taylor, and you're watching No PTO Days. Welcome. Okay, so we're sitting here with a lovely guest by the name of. You want to introduce yourself?
My name is Mah,
Okay.
short for Mahalit.
Hey, Ma.
All right, welcome.
Welcome. So before we even get started with No PTO Days, every episode we just try to touch on what this platform is all about. And within our inner circle of elitism group, No PTO Days can mean different things to different people, right?
Yep.
It could be people that's working and they're trying to transition into entrepreneurship. It could be people that's splitting that evenly or trying to 1 foot out, 1 foot in another segment, or somebody that's a full-time entrepreneurship, which we actually came upon a couple weeks ago that don't know what doesn't know what the name PTO stands for.
Right.
So
Shout out to the dope boys.
even just full-time entrepreneurs that's not dope boys too. But so within that, all of our guests is people that we're working with, and we looking like maybe 5 years from now, we can look back and see people that were trying to figure out a way or have a discussion. Because when people speak about entrepreneurship, a lot of people say it's a lonely journey.
Yeah,
it's a thing that you need to speak with other people. You need to be motivated. You need to keep going. So I wanted to say that right off the bat. And I guess today, I really like, if people ever go to the website, elitismgroup.com, it should be on your screen somewhere right now. Last summer we did a photo shoot to update the website, and this guest, she really helped out. We'll get into that story later, but so Ma, hello, introduce yourself and what's going on with you? How you doing?
Hello. Well, my name is Mah. I'm from Minnesota, born and raised. I do a lot. I'm a nurse / tech. I model. I do some promo, brand ambassador work. I just wake up and do what makes me happy.
Hustler. So let's go back to that. So you said you were a nail tech.
Lash tech.
I'm sorry. Lash tech. So
Be clear.
Sorry about that. So as a lash tech, how did you get into that starting out, and where are you at right now with that?
I started actually when the pandemic happened. So I was like a new nurse when everything started. And I didn't know if I should continue being, because I was with my family a lot. I was around my family. I didn't want to risk anything. So they asked me at my job if I was comfortable working. And I'm like, I'm not sure. So I talked to my family about it. They're like, no, it's not okay right now. So, I just lost my grandma right before that. So I didn't want to risk anything. So I'm like, I can't come back. And I took 6 months off. And during that 6 months, I went to school for lash extensions. Wow.
So
Started that.
Going into that, so when you made the decision to take the 6 months off, is this non-paid, or this is paid or
Non-paid.
Non-paid? So
No PTO.
No PTO days.
Yo,
Hold on 1 second. We got buzz in one of the mics.
is it me? Check.
Hello.
It's not this one, is it?
Nah. What do you think it is?
I think it's too far. I think it's canceling out.
It's getting.
Of course, it's mine because I got a soft voice.
It was about to hit
Technical difficulty.
It was hitting an interesting little segue.
Hello.
Wait, keep going.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm still getting a little bit. One more time.
Hello.
Yeah, it's buzzing.
Is your volume all the way up?
Yeah.
Check 1 2.
That's part of what it is, probably.
Yeah, the volume's probably too high. Which means you gotta
Keep talking.
check 1 2. We might have to put it. Yeah, we might have to put it too closer to you. Yes.
Lower the volume and put it closer.
Yes, we're gonna have to lower the volume and put it
We're not
closer
gonna
to
have
your
to reshoot.
face.
We got to just cut
No,
back.
so just
Continue on what we were talking about.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to stop you early, so you
Yeah. So what were we just?
I could answer
We
the
were
question
at-
again, like as far as did you have any PTO? So how did you?
Oh yeah, we talking about no PTO days. Right.
Let us know when you're ready to.
Ma, can you speak it to the mic?
Hello. Hi.
Okay.
You can? Okay.
It was just too high. Yeah, it can't push it. Okay.
Okay, ready? All right. So going into you taking the 6 months off, was that did you have is that paid time off?
No,
Or
no.
No.
I just had to hustle through it.
no PTO days?
Exactly.
Was it a lot of uncertainty? Obviously, you want to protect your health, and I know you just mentioned you're losing your grandmother. Condolences to that.
Thank you.
How long did it take you to actually ultimately come to that decision to take the 6 months? And
Right away, they call me and they're like, "Do you feel comfortable coming back?" And I'm like, "No." And they were like, "Well, we'll give you 2 weeks to kind of think about it." And I'm like, "Okay." And I just knew I wasn't going back, so instantly I went. I started looking into like schools. I'm like, I've always been into cosmetology, so
okay,
I'm like, I want to do lashes. Let's see what it is, what I got to do to do it. So
salute. Okay, so that was before the pandemic.
right,
So
as soon as it started, basically.
As soon as it started. So are we talking around like March?
It was May. I was actually in Dallas May 6th. My godson was being born.
Okay.
And that's when they called and they're like, "Are you coming back?" I'm like, "No."
And this is nursing.
Yep, nursing.
This is nursing.
Nursing.
Wow. Yeah,
So
that's brave.
did you so I mean, taking that 6 months, like did you go through any anxiety, like because I know you're back up against the wall and trying to earn income and everything. Can you
All
tell
the
us about your
time.
mindset going into that?
I just get up and do it, honestly. Like I've always I teach myself skills so that I would never be broke. So I've been doing hair since I was a kid. If
Okay.
all else fails, I could do hair every day.
Right.
So I mean, I just whatever I got to do, I'll hustle every day until I paid off my school, do what I had to do, took the course, and then started right away. I started practicing on my friends. They let me, my best friends.
Salute to the friends, real
Right.
friends.
They let me practice on them. I got good, and we just kept going from there.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, and that's a, I guess because you're going from what some would say is like a guaranteed check. You know what I mean? Like you're a nurse, like so and I work in the healthcare field. You know what I'm saying too.
Okay.
So it's like I know like that's a strong field. It's always gonna be there.
Right.
And for you to take the leap and decide, you know what? No, I'm gonna go do something else. I'm gonna go do something that I feel, more passionate about. I guess would that be correct?
I mean, I love both, honestly.
Okay.
I love being a nurse, but nursing was always kind of like my plan B. That was kind of my fallback. If I didn't have what I needed, then I can go back and do nursing.
Okay.
I'm grateful because my family was very hard on me about that. They're like, "Oh yeah, you like hair and nails and all that, but that's not a
Yeah,
career.
right.
You got to go do something real."
And are you second or first generation U.S. or first generation U.S.? Yeah, so that's even heavier, right? Would I be correct? Okay.
Yeah. They're like, "You got to be a lawyer, a doctor,
Yes.
something."
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about that on a previous episode. Well, maybe even in private, where the generation before us, like stepping into entrepreneurship is even scarier for them. They want to look out for what they think might be your best interest, but it takes a community of someone that's already been through it to even make you kind of believe that it's real. So
Unbelievable. Yeah.
So you being a nurse too, and actually I'm gonna go into, I guess, I know at the beginning of the podcast we talked about you being a go-getter, and then kind of like we have a story personable with elitism group when it relates to that. So shout out to Ryan Fagan, one of the producers. Shout out to Kyle too. But I have a small story how we had a photo shoot for elitism last year. So all the brand reps that work with us, we appreciate all of y'all. And last summer, Ma you're from Minnesota, right? Born and raised.
Born and raised, yep.
And she had already been working with us for about a month. Just like, I think we sent her some merch. She made a couple posts. It wasn't anything concrete, and you popped up in Philly one day. You was like, right? So I think so. Ma, she texted me. She said, "Hey, she's like, you guys are. I forgot you guys are in Philly, right?"
Right.
And I'm like, "Yeah." And she was like, "You want to shoot?" And so it was like at the drop of the dime. I say that to say it's crazy, like how it came about, because the shoot, again, salute to Ryan. If y'all want to follow his, he's one of the other shows that's on the Mansa Media Network. Follow him. It's Ryan Got the Bread podcast. And I had to scramble to get. I called Don. Don wasn't available. I think you had some stuff to do. We didn't have much merch. I had to find like I think she already had. Our dad had. She had purchased. And if you watch, if people go to the website, the hoodie that's wrapped around her waist, it matches, but that wasn't planned. So a lot of stuff just came together. Like a lot of dope stuff came together, and I think about that. Like I love people that just like, let's figure it out. Like, hey, you want to shoot? You know what I mean? And full circle. Like we still have that picture up on our homepage, so we appreciate that.
Main focus.
For sure.
That's the main focus on the website.
Yeah. So where did you get that from? Like the go-getter attitude, where does that come from?
I don't know. I mean, I couldn't even tell you. I just know things are not going to get done unless you get up and do it. That's just it. So whenever I travel, whenever I like to connect, network, of course. If I'm here, I'm going to, and I know you're here, you're about your business. Let's do something.
Right.
It's only, you can't lose. You can only get better.
Right. And outside of, so we have the lash tech, and we have the nursing. So, but what is your true passion out of everything? Because I believe you do some modeling.
I do modeling. I want to get into acting. Honestly, I can't just pick one. It's like, why do you have to pick one?
Yeah,
that's one life already. Like, just do what you want to do. Do what makes you happy.
And Mah, she's gonna be modest about everything right now, but just on social media, like I've seen that you've done stuff on Wildin' Out before, correct? Yep. What do you want to talk about? Some other things in regards to modeling, as far as gigs that you've done that's most memorable to you?
Runway has always been my favorite. I've always been too short. Of course, you got to be like 5'9" and up, and I'm 5'4". So I've never been tall enough, but that never really stopped me from auditioning. Like, if you like what you see, you're gonna cast me. So I'm just gonna show up and do what I do. You like it or you don't.
Nice.
So, and I think New York Fashion Week and Angel Brinks were my two favorite runway shows.
And for the audience, who's Angel Brinks? Because only reason I knew because someone I used to deal with, I had bought her like an Angel Brinks dress. This was back in like 2011, and I knew who she was. But who's Angel Brinks?
She's a celebrity designer.
Okay.
Super dope in LA, California. I saw a casting one time. Actually, my best friend saw it, and she's like, you got to do this. I'm like, I'm not going out there right now. It's like last minute. She's like, just do it. You never know.
So you went from Minnesota all the way to LA?
I went to LA just to audition.
Yikes.
How much was that?
You got some, that's heavy. You know what I mean? Because you definitely are the type that just jump out there because it's like,
but you
go all the way to LA.
You don't know unless you try, right?
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I love it.
She's like, just do it. I'm like, okay. And if I put in my mind I'm not going to fail, then I'm not. So,
right.
So are you big on like manifestation? And,
yes.
Okay.
Energy, all that. Like,
okay.
You can just feel it don't lie.
Right.
Gotcha.
When you went out there to the casting, would you go by yourself? Did you?
By myself. I booked a hotel, paid for my flight. Like, you got to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
But I was just like, let's try it. So I went out there, went to the audition. It was tons of women, tons of beautiful women.
And when you say tons, how many?
Let's
need numbers.
At least I want to say 200.
How did you feel doing that though? Like once you got there, because like I did auditions before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I grew up in like theater and stuff like that. So, how did you feel? Because I remember doing little stuff. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, or doing like recite, or like being on stage in front of hundreds of people or thousands of people. How did you feel being in
Nervous.
there in LA? Nervous, right?
Nervous. Like I'm even today. I always text my best friend's like, okay, I'm about to do this, and I let them gas me up real quick. Gas me up, and then I'll go and I'll do my thing, and then.
That's crazy.
That's right.
You got that.
So let me ask you, because I mean my personal experience on like jumping out there and then succeeding, how did that affect you moving forward? When like as far as your mentality, does that help you? Obviously, I think it would, but can you go into the mindset like the next time you had to make a decision, and then, or was that related when you had to go and do your lashes, like something for an example. Like when you went out there for the Angel Brinks thing, did you reference back to that situation to be able to take more chances? Is what I'm asking you.
Yeah and no. I mean, yeah. I don't know what you're asking me. Okay,
Oh, I'm
so
sorry.
like,
so
yeah, I do want to take more chances.
Yeah.
It makes me want to, like, every time I do something, I'm like, okay, how can I beat that? I'm always my own competition. I'm like, okay, I did that, and that was the best thing that I've done. So now how can I beat that?
can you? I think people, and I know I'm probably a little bit more into sports, but I think I told you to watch this. Have you ever watched Last Dance, Michael Jordan documentary? No. Any entrepreneur, even if you're not into sports, I highly suggest it because because the way his mindset was, and he would create things that challenge himself, and I think when you watch it, you will come out inspired. Okay. It's like it is like 9 episodes, but you will really probably, or even you will have a new respect level. I think for MJ, it was a dope documentary, and I just thought about that when you said it.
Okay.
For the mindset, of putting something, thinking of something or whatever, and then manifesting your thoughts. Basically, is what you're saying. Is that what you're saying? No.
Something like that. A little bit. I mean, I feel like
because you said he like put stuff into. Like,
he was different. He would trick himself. He would look, and I think in entrepreneurship, you have being self motivated is like a top 3 thing to me. And when you watch it, it's a lot of things that he would. You would people would probably, when from the outside looking in, like, yes, he won 6 rings and he's successful, but when you watch the documentary, you kind of see behind the curtain and what he would do to mentally get himself up to be competitive, to be his own competition.
Okay.
Even when I was in medical sales, like competing with someone else doesn't do enough for me. Like competing within what I did yesterday and having my own goals within is better for me. I don't like
sure.
No. So that's just personal for that. But so we did the hurdle with the modeling now. Are you into acting as well?
I'm trying to get into acting.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you said you went to LA and you were doing the auditions and things like that. I'm sorry, I gotta kind of reel it back a little bit. One thing that I used to do when I was like acting or singing or whatever I was doing, I was a kid, by the way. This is not like adult,
This
young
was
adult.
last year.
But did you draw on anything that would prepare you for that? You know, to figure, okay, like I'm gonna tap into my inner Tyra, I'm gonna tap into my inner whatever. Like, how did you get your mind right for that? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Jordan would psych himself out and challenge yourself. Like, how did you even prepare yourself mentally for that?
I mean, I haven't done too much on acting, but if it's like runway or whatever I'm auditioning for, I'll watch a bunch of videos.
Okay.
Successful people who have done it and how they walk, their posture, everything, you know, like how they present themselves and what works and what doesn't.
Right.
Cause I did a runway one time.
Yeah.
Right?
Another job for Don.
Nah, it was a gig I did. Shout out to Frank.
Gig job, whatever.
It was shout out to Frank. It's a guy who asked me to walk on his runway or whatever. And I'm not a model by far.
Have you modeled?
That one time.
Okay,
and
so
then selfies like a mug. You know what I'm saying? I'm nice with a selfie. Jay be like, man, who was with you that took that shot?
Yeah,
it's a selfie.
Yeah. I'm
a timer.
Well,
timer is vicious. Yeah.
So people that don't know, so Don was a truck driver, and he would be like, it's crazy. Like we only talked about this a little bit in regards to like our business meetings. Sometimes would be, he could be on the road at 2 a.m. and be in California. I'm on the East Coast, and we'll lock in while he's on the road driving, so when he was on the road, I know he's by himself. So some of the angles he would take pictures, and he was like far away. I'm like, this, and mind you, this is not now. We talking like 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
People weren't
Hey,
even on that.
I'm gonna go back and find a picture. We're gonna edit it and drop it in the in this footage right now.
2011.
But he would take the best pictures, and I'm like, "Yo, bro, like, how do you get? Who's taking your pictures?" He was like, "Yo, I put it on the right. I put it up against the wall. This is."
Angles.
He didn't even have one of these.
No tripod.
No tripod. So salute to you for that. So
I mean, putting the rocks. Let me get 2 rocks and put them right here, and then put the phone up. And I had like a little whack phone or whatever. I had the little. I ain't gonna diss the Samsung, but I had a little Samsung, John. I was like, nah, I'm gonna work this out. Get them shots, boy.
Okay.
Mountains behind me, everything. Yeah. Shot.
but go ahead. You was going into your story about the modeling.
Oh
thing.
yeah. So no, I was just saying like when I did the little runway joint I did, it was just like I don't know. It was like because you're going out there like you're back there, everybody trying on putting on the clothes and stuff like that. And I'm all right, cool. Let me throw on a little. You know, he got like suits, so it's like a lot of this stuff is like vintage suits, right? And he kind of tweaks and puts a modern twist to it. So I'm like, all right, cool. Some of the stuff I was like, I ain't wearing that, cuz. You know, but you know, you got to make it work for for the guy, for the show. You know, you got to do what you do. You're just there as a body to display the product, right?
Yeah.
And it just turned out that I go out there and I was nervous. Like I didn't think I was gonna be nervous, but then I go out there and it's like all these people and they're looking,
just staring at you, right? All these
staring
lights.
at you. And it's like if you're doing theater, if you're singing or if you're
Yeah.
acting or something like that, which I've done too. Like I was Michael Jackson for the Wiz, like you know what I'm
I
saying?
need
Stuff,
that footage.
type of stuff.
I need that
And it's,
footage.
it
Mom,
doesn't exist.
I need that footage.
She don't have it either. But like I've done stuff like that, and I couldn't really see the people. Like they're in the audience, so you can't really see them.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're walking the runway, it's like people in the front,
There
people
are.
lined up,
Yeah. You
cameras
don't look
going
at
off.
them ever. You look. You find something straight ahead, far back. That focal point. You look at that, and you don't take your eyes off of that. Fierce.
That's the mistake I made because I was looking at people.
Don't
I was
look
looking
at
Look, you know what I'm saying? People, and then somebody do like one of these Johns. I'm like,
right.
you're talking
or
about
they scream your name, and they're like,
insecure to them.
"Look at me!"
Right. So, so shout out to you, man, for that. That was heavy.
It's fun.
I will never do it again.
Never.
I can't.
I love
can't
it.
see
It's fun. It's like some kind of rush you get when it's
Yeah.
happening. It's like, I don't know.
Okay.
It's like everybody's there, like you said, they're just praising you. They're like looking at you, and they're either like I feel like they're either looking at you saying whack or they're looking at you saying thorough, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you don't know, but for somebody like yourself, I guess it's just like I'm just gonna go out there and do it. But for me, I was like, I hope I ain't out here looking crazy and I'm gonna be somebody's
You
meme or
can't think
something like
that when you're out
that. You know
there.
what I'm saying? It was heavy.
They want to. You got to make them feel like they want to be in whatever you got on. They want that. Just the way you rocking it is it.
Okay.
Speaking into a professional.
Confidence. Go out there and be confident.
So as far as modeling, it look like, and you get passionate. I see it's coming out when you talk about modeling. We appreciate that
I
insight.
love my. Yeah.
All right. So as far as acting, so where are you with how do you feel about that? And do you feel anything that's holding you back in regards to acting?
Yes, like I was telling you before, I'm shy. I've always been shy my whole life.
Right.
My family can tell you, like, they'll be surprised I'm doing this right now.
Salute to the fam.
Even just modeling, they're like, "You're gonna do what? You're gonna be on a stage in front of people?" Like, yeah.
Ooh.
But just getting over that. I think that's the only thing that's holding me back from acting.
Right.
But I want to take some acting classes. I'm going to get into some films. And I've done music videos where I had to do some acting, but never speaking. So
Okay. Okay. Well, we're gonna talk into an existence for sure. Do you think is there anything specifically in acting like that would be your ideal role? Have you thought about that? Or type of film?
I haven't. I'm working on it.
Okay.
You know, I went to it's like a mother agency that I worked with. And they sent us to LA.
And I'm sorry, what is a mother agency?
It's like, it's not an official modeling agency, but they kind of like teach you the basics or whatever, like get you prepared to be represented by an agency.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it was a long time ago, years ago. I worked with one and they sent me to LA and we auditioned with like 50 agents, maybe.
Oh wow.
A lot. And they kept asking me like, what's your character? And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, who are you gonna play? Like what? And they're like, you can't get into acting unless you know who your character is. And I'm like, so do I have to be a certain? And I'm like, okay, maybe I have to pick a character. Maybe I have to pick an actor and like be like them. But it's like you have to find your own character, you know, and that's what I'm working on.
Oh, okay.
So what does that process look like? If they so right now, like what? How do you find your own character?
She's still working on it.
Okay.
That's what she's working on.
We just want to do a better job of making sure we, you know, ask these questions.
So when you say finding your own character, I'm seeing it. So it's like with me, you know, they say I look like Idris Elba. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's what they say, right? So what I started doing, I started working on my British accent. You see?
But that's his character. That's not your character.
But I was originally saying he was Stringer Bell.
Okay.
And people didn't know that from The Wire. You know what I'm saying? So I guess like for him, he had to try to figure out because he had to play American. Nobody knew he was British for all them years. Right?
Okay.
So I'm saying like when I look at people fronting, I mean not fronting, acting, but they're putting on like they're, you know, this individual or whatever, you have to really absorb that, right? For me, if I took on a character, I would just take on Idris Elba. He took one of us. So that's what I said. Yeah. Right.
I'll be Halle Berry then.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You got the cut. Like,
all right. That's a second shortcut. Yeah, so,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Pixie cut. Let's go.
How do you handle your like your workload now? So you're back. Are you back into nursing now?
I am. I'm back.
Okay.
After 6 months, I went back. I'm like, okay, this virus, this pandemic, it's not going nowhere.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Not for me to stop the checks coming. Right? I was in the medical field too, but I was on the distribution, as you know, the distribution side. So I guess that's something that all three of us have in common. Did helping people, like when you went to nursing, does that come up too? Like, do you actually like have a passion for nursing? Or
I do, yes. I love it. Like, the rewards you get is like you can't get it from nowhere else. Like they're so grateful, they're so thankful for you to even this stuff that people won't, their own family won't do for them. You know, it's like, especially through the pandemic, they don't get to see anyone. They're locked up in those four walls by themselves. It's so sad. So I'm like,
I mean, you know what? Just to get a little personable too, like a lot of people don't know. Maybe only a small circle. Both of our fathers was in the hospital like around within the same week with COVID back in November. Yep. So that kind of, I mean, even though you hear it in regards to like no visitors, it's a whole nother ball game when your family member, it's, God forbid if it's like a grand, you know, somebody elderly that that you're used to caring for or anything like that. So we both, you know, thank God both of our fathers have, you know, made it out of that situation.
Yeah, shout out to Pops, man.
And condolences for anybody that lost a family. I think I lost an uncle to COVID. And hopefully we get through this, you know, this whole pandemic.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, a lot of people,
a lot of family members
were lost from that. And I worked at the COVID site, and I work at the vaccine joint now, the vaccine clinic or whatever. But I was working at the site or whatever when my dad was actually in. So it was just like all these people was in here getting tested and all. And I'm like, yo, my pops is like, you know what I mean? It's like a constant reminder, like, yo, pops is dealing with this right now. You know what I mean? So
it's real. Man. People don't think it's real, but it's real.
Yeah, that used to like really piss me off because people would be like, man, no COVID, and I'd be like, dude, like I'm seeing it, like I don't know. Then what is it? Like you give me the game because I don't know what it is because I'm seeing it and I'm experiencing it with people. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was real. So,
my sister lost her mother-in-law to COVID, and she also has a special needs daughter who has a lot of health problems. And I'm used to going to their house like every other day. So I can't go over there now unless I take a COVID test and I quarantine for about a week, you know?
Yeah.
So it's so different. Like, you have to take it serious.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. I mean, you know, I say that I am vaccinated.
You are?
Yeah, I'm vaccinated. And a lot of people was getting on me about taking the vaccine. You know what I'm saying? They was like, nah, bro, don't do it. I was like, you know, I'm going to go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my pop, everything they've been through. And then, you know, I saw my mother. She went and got vaccinated and all that. and I'd never been vaccinated, you know. And I know we're kind of going off the rails, but just you know, I never was like getting flu shots and stuff, but I was like, you know, I'm gonna just go ahead and do this, you know, whatever. Like whatever's meant for me won't miss me, so I just go ahead and do it, you know. And yeah, so far so good. I'm all right.
Cool. And our next segue too. So you had so I know you doing juggling a couple things. How do you manage your workload? Like, can you get into like an insight on? Do you have a certain percentage wise, certain amount of days? Do you time block when it comes to because you run a business with the lashes? You're a nurse, and I know nurse schedules. I don't know if you agency or not or whatever, but I know those schedules could be kind of crazy overnight. So yeah, talk about like your work schedule, your typical work week.
So nursing, I'm PRN, so I'm as needed, on call, whatever you call it.
Right.
So I can kind of create my own schedule with that, as long as I do the requirements. You work like a weekend every month, and that's kind of, I do my lashes first. I would say I would book my appointments for lashes. I have like a dry erase calendar for the month, and I plan out my entire month.
Wow.
So I'll have all my appointments filled in first, and then other things, important things that I have to do, I'll put that in. And then whatever days I have off, I'll pick up for nursing. And I'll put that in. I never work Sundays. That's my self-care day.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's mine too during football
Now,
season.
would you say that's a lucrative? Is it lucrative doing the lashes thing? Is it like could you see somebody doing it full time, like
Yeah, for
over doing nursing or something like that? You know what I mean? Just like
Yeah.
let's do
You
lashes.
could do, but I like both. I don't want to choose. I don't want to have to choose.
yeah. I got it.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
But you could definitely do
Well,
that.
when we talk about because some stuff I believe some people it's a passion for, like that's valuable in itself. But so just I didn't even think about it. So lashes, how much can you potentially make if you was doing it full time, dollar amount wise?
Full time, I never really thought about it like that. But you could make a lot.
What's a lot?
Because we talking about because
I'm bad at math. Y'all want to do the math?
yeah. What I'm
So,
saying is because you're a nurse, right?
yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, the entry in nursing is somewhere around 50, right? 50 grand.
Oh, okay.
Am I correct? Right, about 50K a year, right? Like average, national average, right, or something like that, right? And I don't know what the cap is, but I know a nurse that makes $250,000 a year, right? You know, so if we talking about lash checking, where do we fall in that
Bucket.
You know what I'm saying? In that realm, is it at the lower? It's not in the top spectrum or whatever, right? So
honestly, doing lashes, you make more money in this shorter amount of time.
okay, yeah, okay. So it's like you can get your money, it's cash on demand. Like it's like, you know, with nursing, I know they have different ways you get paid, right? You get paid either salary, you get, you know, you either get your 2 weeks check or whatever, or you get your salary, right? So it's with that being said, with the cat, just like with anything, like just like I guess when it's entrepreneurship, you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna get your money on time. Nah, I need the money right now. You know what I mean? So it makes sense.
And I mean, like, so when we talk about this, like, because at one point I have a passion for like sales, but it was not that same drive when you have your own clients and you are starting to build something, and then people end up being appreciative of it. So do you get something from that? Like, there's like a dopamine or something like that, almost like when you have your own business and you're creating something.
Dopamine.
All right, I'll just admit that I said it wrong. I'm not going.
Keep
Hey,
correcting each other on these.
Dopamine.
he waiting on every little word. I mean,
I'm
hey,
on
I said
it.
it wrong.
Because it was feet prints.
hey, listen.
Footprints or footprints?
We actually want to do a shirt. It's going to say footprints versus feet prints. So we'll have it up on the site
I'm
pretty
not gonna lie.
soon.
When I
Feet
heard
prints.
feet prints, I'm like, what is this?
I thought the same thing. You know what I mean? But I told
Shout
him,
out
It's
to
okay
my
though, it's okay.
Mr. Aranovitz, my old English
don't
teacher.
try to put that on the school system. Are you serious?
Miss Joyner. No, she gonna be like, I don't know what you're talking about, Nelson. I gotta
Shout out to Miss Joyner.
shout out to
we do stuff
Veronica
for her.
Joyner. Yes,
Okay, so oh, you know what? You told me about you have you do some merch as well. So look, we highly appreciate you being a brand rep for us because, and this is no gas, like you do take some of the best pictures for like when you post up, like we'll get hit up like, I want to get that crop top that the girl with the short hair wore and everything. So,
dope.
you have your own merch also, and do you want to talk about that? I know it's like a hobby of yours you were talking about and what it meant for, and it sounds dope. So I want you to talk about that.
Before you were saying that, you were saying how lashes make me feel. You know, okay. So let me just tell you that part. So it's like the same with nursing. You know, you get that response from people like they're so grateful, so whatever. So when I'm doing lashes and I give them that mirror right when I'm done, and they look at themselves and they're just like, that confidence is up there, and they're like, period. Like I'm like, okay,
right.
Like it makes me feel good that they feel good. You know,
That's dope.
so that's what I like. But clothing line. So same thing with that. Born Foreign apparel. Born Foreign, and every time I say that, people think born foreign as in born out of the country. You're from somewhere else. And that's not really what I mean by it. It's born foreign as in I was born different, born unique, born just out of this world, you know? Like everything that I always stood out. I never fit in any group, any clique, nothing in school. I just always stood out and I was different. So I'm like, okay, you take that and you make something out of it. You embrace it.
Right. I like that.
Right?
As you should.
Individuality.
Yeah. So I'm like, I want to make something that makes people stand out, makes people feel good. And it's like, it's not what's on you, it's what's in you.
There you go. There you go. I like that. I like to consider myself a stranger to the people. Stranger. Shout out to the strangers.
I don't even know who you are.
Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
What time 8 o'clock.
Strangers know. You're not a stranger.
Yeah. Man, I'll you threw me for a loop. So yeah, as far as so you've been to LA. Do you get to travel a lot to different cities, and you want to talk about that? Like, do you have a favorite city? I know you do a lot of networking and stuff like that. You could shout out Philly too.
Yeah, Philly's today became one of my favorites.
That's what's up.
It was not. I'm not gonna lie. Last time I came here, it was just rainy. It was ugly. There was nothing to do. I didn't like it. But
She did the Karate Kid. She said, "I hate it here."
I hate it here.
She would like when I think it was her last day. Her girlfriend was like, "There's nothing to do here." I'm like, "Y'all can't. It's the pandemic."
Yeah.
It was so boring.
It's always something to do in Philly, though, man.
Yeah, there's always something to do. It's salute to our city. It has some challenges, but you know, it is what it is. But besides Philly, where else do you?
I've been a little bit everywhere. Cali and Georgia. It's always my favorite.
Okay.
Now you go to LA when you go to Cali. Like, what other
LA,
parts of?
Yeah.
Mainly
Just
LA.
LA.
I was born in
Yeah.
Cali. I was
Were
born
you?
in
Okay.
San Bernardino, and I've
Okay.
traveled back and forth to Cali when I had my trucking business. So I love Cali, man. You know
I
what I'm
love it
saying?
too.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to LA. Shout out to San Bernardino. Shout out to Sacramento. Shout out to the Bay. Yeah, for sure.
My little brother just moved to Cali.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's what's up. What part? I don't know if we want to put him out there, but saying something. Santa Monica or San Francisco is San Fernando. It's a lot of sayings out there, but San Diego. But shout out to Cali, man, for sure. All my family in the West Coast. I don't know if I'm supposed to do this or not, but this is one of those.
One of those. So when you got as far as
Are we still doing this?
I can edit this part
We're
out.
not doing this. No.
I can edit this part out, right?
Why? It's great.
It's great. No, because we'll do a part for the Patreon. We're just gonna take 20 minutes. It was like a more personal part, but anyway. So all right, so we're here. So to date, what's your biggest goal for 2021? What's on your plate, and what are you going to manifest and go after?
That's a lot.
I need 3-month goal, 6-month goal.
Pressure. You sound like you talking to your daughter.
Goals.
Tell me the goals.
I don't know, because I'm kind of, what I plan today might not be the same as tomorrow, honestly. I'm kind of, I jump around a lot.
You fly by the seat
So
of your
that
pants.
calendar gets edited a lot because I know that's
It
something.
does, but
as
like,
far as a
I
full
can tell you
month,
what's going on next month, but
right? So do you? As far all right. Well, let me ask you this: do you goal set? Is that something?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I plan to relocate. I plan to open up a new business. I don't want to speak on yet, but
Talk about it.
Okay.
and then rebranding my clothing line. I mean, I have things that I want to do. I just haven't put a time stamp on it.
Sometimes and this is personal. I think you should put a timestamp on it just to get that
so?
edit. I mean, and this is again my opinion. I think you should light up. Look, shout out to even the Mansa team. You know what I mean? Like I think us coming together for the studio that we're sitting in, it was something that could have been drawn out. We could have been planning, and a couple people on the team kind of forced the sense of urgency, like to get it done within a month. And 2-3 months later, we're here, and I feel like we're building. So I do think you should have, even if you don't hit it within that timestamp, but it's something that's going to force you to try to work towards a certain date. You know what I mean?
In my mind, I'm never gonna stop working towards whatever I want to do.
Right.
But at the same time, things happen. Like things change and
Yep.
things happen all the time. When so last year this time, I was in school. Well, I just started school for my bachelor's in nursing, and it was about I think the first or second week of school when George Floyd happened.
Right.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even continue. I had to drop out.
Right.
There was just so much going on. So it's like what my goals were then. It's like it doesn't matter if I put a timestamp on it because life happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta adjust. You know what I'm saying? That's, I think it's like with the goal, it's like I tell my sons, it's like, yo, you can have an end game. Like at the end of the day, you do gotta deal with what's immediately in front of you, but you gotta look at the long game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I have a goal, I know the goal's there. So it's like tunnel vision. It's like anything. All right, this is in the way. Excuse me, I gotta. You know what I mean? Excuse me, pardon me. I got somewhere I gotta be. So that's something that I think that like I guess to what you're saying, it's like you gotta like things change, you gotta readjust or whatever. The goal doesn't change.
Exactly. Just the
but
route.
the route definitely takes some edits. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
What do you feel like because 2020 it's crazy, but I'm gonna say the past 3 years, what's the biggest goal that you've achieved?
Finishing nursing school and the lash business wasn't a part of the plan. It just kind of happened.
Right.
And
But
I
it's
love
popping.
it. I love it.
But the lashes is popping.
It's popping.
Yeah. And as far as I'm drawing a blank. Sorry. Well, let's get into elitism group because look, I know we talk personally and all that. So, Ma again, she was a dope brand rep model and everything like that.
Thank you.
As for the viewers that's watching on YouTube, she has the Dream Junkie tee, and we did some dope shops in Philly and everything like that.
I got the socks on too.
Oh
She got the
yeah,
socks on.
Yeah, I forgot about.
I'm telling her to put a foot up on the table, do one of them Jones, but I don't. Oh,
Can't see it.
you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the Dream Junkie socks or whatever.
Was there anything that resonated with you as a brand as you got to know it? Because like I try to ask a question, just people that work with us and build with us. Is there anything that resonate with you with working with us with Elite System Group?
I just like how you're very professional. Like whatever you plan to do, you do it, and you're always working on something. Like when you came up and was like, okay, I want you to be a brand ambassador, you sent merch right away. People don't do that right away, and it was like, okay, you're serious. So let's do this. And it just kept going.
Right.
One thing led to another, whatever, and we're here now. So.
Right.
Okay, so where can the people reach you? Where can they see your work and things like that? Instagram, and what's it? Give us your Instagram.
It's @_I am Mah, MAH.
Okay, all right. What's the phone number?
It's a business number on there. If you go on there.
No,
somebody dialing right now.
I was waiting for this. Oh. No, but
make sure you give them your socials for your the lash business as well.
So
what is it?
It's all in my bio too, but it's Opulence Lab
Okay.
And Born Foreign.
Okay,
On
spelled
Opulence?
literally correct, like literally.
Which one?
Literally.
Can I get a spell check on that, please?
Is it spelled correctly? It's like no ebonics involved.
Opulence or?
Yeah, the whole thing is everything's spelled
Opulence,
correctly, right?
yes,
All right,
it
cool.
is, it
English.
is.
All right, smooth. All right, so yeah,
You
man.
can catch us at
Yeah, you can catch us elitismgroup.com. You can catch us at elitism group. You can catch me at Abdullah Saway, Abdullah _ Saway, SAWAI _ art. And
the NoPTOdays.com is the podcast. You can catch it on Apple, Spotify.
Facts.
My personal one is J Taylor 36.
Yep.
And yeah, so definitely check us out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Ma, we definitely appreciate you as a guest on No PTO Days.
Yes,
Thank
man.
you for having me.
Thanks for coming down, man.
Thank you, and we'll definitely everybody tune in next time, and we'll see you on the other side.